Conor O'Shea, thanks very much for your time. This week we've seen the retirement of Johnny Wilkinson, a player whose attitude and behaviour was second to none, and unfortunately it makes us maybe draw some comparisons to players and incidents during the World Cup where players didn't have that high level of professionalism, and unfortunately this week Harlequins have had to find Danny Care for an incident last weekend. Do you think professional players on the whole understand where the line is drawn between, you know, relaxing and having a good time and things getting a little bit over the top?
Yeah, they do. I mean, and yeah, we've had our incidents which we've drawn a line in the sand on that one, and it's unfortunate, but I said right from the start, and we're on a journey here, and you're trying to educate, you're trying to inform, make people better, and no one's perfect. And I think everything now has been magnified, and the players have to understand that they're in a different era. Johnny was just an incredible, I mean, he's so old, I played against him at international rugby. That's a long time, and he's not even old, he was young. You know, what an incredible role model. I think my wife is gutted. She'll no longer be able to see him on the pitch, which I'm probably glad about. And yeah, he set the standards. He set the standards in. I think sometimes, you know, the last few years and the way people have spoken about the way and his style of play had belied just how absolutely incredible he was in his pomp. And he controlled the game in a different way in his latter years, yep, but well, around that 2003 World Cup when he hit the short sides for that England team, and his feet were at his dancing best, he was the best fly half in world rugby, and if not ever at that time. He was incredible, and he'd be missed internationally, I think, just because he's a good bloke, and hopefully people look at him. But I'm sure, like everybody, I'm sure he wasn't perfect in his life, and he behaved probably imperfectly in different arenas, and our guys have to understand that. Danny, you know, is really disappointed, apologised to everyone here, because we're working really hard at that, but in a way it's going to be a good reminder for them that, you know, you're looking up behind there at the values we have in place, at some of the behaviours we expect across the piece, in physical, technical, nutritional, tactical, mental, lifestyle. That's how we want to behave, and that's how we will.
I guess you wouldn't want this sort of thing to happen, but as you say, when it does, it just refocuses the mind for everybody else to say, well, let's make sure we do things right.
Absolutely, and it will happen, because, you know, they're young men, but as long as we react the way we have, and, you know, the players are in no uncertain terms. They know exactly what's been done. Myself and John Kingston sat down with Danny yesterday. We reminded them of what we expect of him. It's not just player driven when some things happen, and you know, he's such a great bloke, Danny, such a nice guy, and he's playing brilliant rugby, and he won't make that mistake again. I don't think any player in the group will. I mean, we had no formal complaint from anyone. The police looked after it, we looked after it, and we'll just move on and let him focus on the 100th game in the Harlequins jersey this weekend against Toulouse. That's a big enough thing to challenge us for.
Yes, certainly, and you'll be hoping that his rugby does the talking. 14 out of 15 wins this season then. You'll have been disappointed last week, but it's still looking good.
Oh, listen, disappointed. We played against the Barcelona of European rugby, the greatest team in European rugby, and 65th minute of the game it was 14-10. We didn't play as well as we could. A lot of that is down with the physicality they brought, but we're going to focus on ourselves, and we were still in that game with 15 minutes to go, and they got a try which killed the game, and you need to ride your luck when you play teams like that, and I don't think we got many breaks. We didn't make our own breaks as well with some of our ball retention and our physicality at ruck time, but you know, that's what happens sometimes. You have to hang in there, and that second try probably 5 yards forward, comfortably 5 yards forward, but not focusing that the better team won. They were better than us on the night, and we didn't hit the performance or process goals that we set out for us, and that's what we'll look at this weekend. We want to make sure that they understand that we're a better side than they played against at the weekend, and if we win, great, but as long as we get our game there, that's all that matters to me.
How can you manifest that in coaching during the week, when you say, you know, it sounds like a little bit was, you know, maybe rubber the green, or as you say, they were better in certain areas, but in terms of trying to coach that during the week to make sure you go down to somewhere like Toulouse and aim to get a result?
A lot of it's mindset, and you know, a lot of guys will have learnt. I said to the boys straight after the game that you don't just reach a level. You know, these guys have been 4 times Heineken Cup champions, the only team who've done that for a reason. They're an outstanding rugby side, and they can play it brilliantly or they can play it brutally. They can mix it. They're magnificent to watch. And they came and we learnt a lesson from that. And our guys are quick learners. They got taught a lesson in European rugby, and this wasn't a run-of-the-mill dead rubber game. This was full on proper. This is the matches we want to play in as a club. You know, there are dead rubbers and there aren't. That wasn't, this isn't, and we'll have to have our heads switched on. We understood what that is like, and we'll become a better side for playing matches like that. Think of Warren Gatland talking about what he did, and look at Clive Woodward, what he did with their international side. Play against the best, you become better. Play against mediocrity, you don't. We played against the best, and we'll be better for it.
And you've got some of the players in your side who are playing out of their skins at the moment. I mean, Aviva Premiership Player of the Month was Chris Robshaw. I noticed the club sponsor has given the Player of the Month to Mike Brown. Good bit of rivalry between the forwards and the backs, and great talent between them. If you could have a view on which of those was more worthy?
Yeah. Oh no, I'd never say that. I mean, you know, we've got a lot of talented guys in the squad, and the great thing is they've stepped up. Every time we've asked fellas to step in, you know, reminds people like George Lowe and Jordan Turner-Hall and Ollie Cohn and Tim Fairbrother, and Tom Guest is on his way back. You know, we've been, you know, Joe Marler will miss this weekend with the knock he took last week, and then a couple that might miss out. All the time fellas have stepped up and stepped in. So you know, we're playing against a team with a massive budget, a massive squad. They were, you know, substituting, bringing Jan David on for Florian Fritz and Servat on for both. Pickemolds was going off, Mila Klusky was coming on. That's what we're in. It's great. It's what we want to be there, and our fellas will learn from playing against them and be excited. There, you know, if you can't be excited about the game we're playing this weekend, full house in Toulouse in a proper, not dead rubber, Heineken Cup match. That is how we will become a better side. And if we have to learn a few painful lessons on the way to where we want to get to, it'll be so be it. But we want to make sure we get our game on the pitch.
Absolutely whets the appetite, and whetting the appetite for a lot of people will be Christmas coming up. Are there any major Christmas traditions in the O'Shea household? Do we do stockings, or when do you tend to have your big Christmas meal?
Well, we have the elf on the shelf at the moment, which is
watching the kids' behaviour.
Girls, that's watching the kids' behaviour, and that's a big thing for us. It's keeping everything on the straight and narrow. He's going back to report on things to Lapland and the North Pole every week, which is good, or every night. And listen, it's busy. Big game 4 on the 27th, so we'll be in a Boxing Day, we'll be in a Christmas Eve, we'll be in debriefing on the 28th. It's going to be pretty full on. We have a match on New Year, so we'll be travelling to Exeter on the 30th.
Barely a mince pie in sight.
There'll be plenty of mince pies for me, not for the players.
Fantastic. And if the Premiership, LV Cup and Heineken Cup were wrapped up under the tree, which one would you rather had Harlequins' name on it?
You don't win anything at Christmas. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to the new year. We've had a lovely start. We never got ahead of ourselves. We always said we're not a great side, and we won't be a bad side when we lose, and we're not. There's never a grey area in sport. It's always black or white. So we want to get out, get a performance in. We have a really tough run of games coming up. You know, you've got this game, you've Saracens, you've got Exeter away, Northampton away. That's tough, but our team will be ready for it.
And finally, what will be on the list for Mrs. O'Shea to buy Mr. O'Shea this Christmas?
I just ask her for a day away golfing every year. If I get that and she sticks that in a little envelope under the tree, I'll be a happy man.
Brilliant. No complications. And Conor, we hope you don't have any against Toulouse at the weekend. Best of luck and thanks for your time.
Cheers.